indie authors work extremely hard on their craft. In no particular order, here are some of the top indie Halloween reads for 2022. Number 1. Court of Ravens and Ruin by Eliza Raine. A defiant human woman, a dark fae prince. Two enemies bound to a marriage that could destroy their world. Raine was born a valuable slave to the Gold Court, imprisoned her whole life in a glittering palace by sadistic greedy fae. When the place is raided, she takes her opportunity to escape, but the raid is led by her worst nightmare, the prince of the most feared fae of all, the Shadow Court, and he wants one thing: her, the copper-haired rune-marked human. Raine doesn't know why the prince has kidnapped her, but when he announces her as his betrothed, she knows that she must escape before she's eternally bound to the monster behind the mask. Only when he takes off the mask, he isn't what she expects. He's lethal, beautiful, and exudes sin, and he needs her. Drawn into a deadly world shrouded in secrets and desperate to keep her own hidden, Raine must find a way out. If she doesn't, she risks more than just death. She risks giving everything to her intoxicating captor. Number 2. Fractured Shadows by K.L Mann and Kendra Moreno. Our lands are fractured, split into 3 since before my birth, but they weren't always this way. Once we prospered, magic filling our lands before it was locked away with them, the monsters. Now we suffer, we starve, even as our king grows stronger, richer. And then one day, my sister is called upon to make the ultimate sacrifice. Unable to lose the person I love, I take her place willingly, protecting her the only way I can. My name is Cora Black, and I'm barely 20 years old when I'm sacrificed to the monsters. If only they knew that I carve the same darkness that lives within their monstrous facades. If only the king knew I'm just as much a monster as them. Number 3. Order of Scorpions by Ivy Asher. 6 years ago, I awoke in a cage with no knowledge of who I was or where I'd come from. 6 years ago, I was spared the flesh market and instead thrown in with a group of savages where I learned it was fight or die. Now, 8 orders of assassins are converging on the only home I've ever known, all in hopes of purchasing new blade slaves for their ranks. I'm for sale, yet all I want is a life far from death and ownership. Then I meet them, the Order of Scorpions. Their allure is a threat to the freedom I crave, but I won't fall victim to their sting, no matter how tempting it might be. They want to own me, to claim me, but the Scorpions have no idea what they've bargained for. They're about to learn what venom flows in my veins. I don't just bite, I destroy. Number 4. Lamb by K.L Mann. Cress Winchester has lied about her life more times than she can count. Being raised by a notorious con man instilled skills of deceit and a flair for the dramatics deep into the woman at a young age. And coming up with a new identity had never failed her before, until now, as she stands with her arms bound and mouth gagged, waiting to be sacrificed. Yep, freaking sacrificed. Balthazar is not one of the many demons who signed up to attend Tombstone University, though he knows many who did. The ancient demon has bigger responsibilities that pertain to the upcoming war. That doesn't, however, stop a human coven of devil worshippers from summoning him, but their offspring isn't what he is expecting, and nor is the little sacrificial lamb what he trades in. She does look like a bit of fun though, doesn't she? Number 5. The Haunting of Porlock House by B.J. Conroy. Tom Osborne is returning to the Australian country town of Corbin to arrange his aunt's funeral. His last visit was 20 years ago when he was 7 years of age. As Tom revisits the town, fragments of long-forgotten memories resurface in his mind. On that last trip, he and his friend Lynn explored the elegant residence of Porlock House on a nighttime cycle ride. However, that can't be true, as the house hasn't existed for over 100 years. Tom's curiosity is piqued, and he searches for answers to the mystery of Porlock House. However, delving into the house's secrets reveals a sinister history, and discovering the truth will become a matter of life and death for Tom. Number 6. The Cursed Among Us by John Durgin. It's been 20 years since the serial killer known as the Black Heart Killer terrorized the town of Newport in 1979. Life mostly returned to normal after the killer was captured. All the townspeople have to do is stay out of the woods where the bodies were abandoned, their chests ripped open, and their hearts torn out. Howie Burke and his friends decide rules are meant to be broken. I mean, that's what 15-year-old kids do now. On a beautiful fall day, they decide to go out in the woods to film a horror movie when they stumble across a mysterious grave. What they don't know is that they're about to release an evil on the town unlike anything in their homemade movies. They'll soon uncover the secrets of the Black Heart Killer and what it truly means to be cursed. Number 7. Captured by the Fae by Vera Rivers. The Fae King's guards captured me. Nobody is coming to save me. I've been kidnapped and charged for a crime I didn't commit. To stay alive, I need to convince the king of my word, but he's my enemy. I come face to face with my captor, the Fae King, and he's as terrifying as he's mesmerizing. His dark hair, chiseled body, and icy blue eyes draw me in, but he's dangerous, especially because I'm a human. The king challenges me with an impossible task, and I prevail. Now, questions about my origin put a new target on my back. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know who I can trust. Number 8. Billy's Experiment by Jonathan Dunne. On Halloween night, Park Ranger Bill Stewart saves a baby from a strange band of trick-or-treaters on the mystery moors of Old Castles National Park. 7 autumns later, Bill and his wife Dorothy discover a ghastly experiment in a treehouse and a mysterious medical prescription written in a childish scribble. Bill realized that what he had observed 7 autumns ago wasn't what it seemed. Who was saving who exactly? Just as Bill's eclipse is beginning, so too is Billy's. Number 9. Flirting with Darkness by T.L Sturgis. After a stranger brutally attacks a cocktail waitress in the shadows of the night, Amara unwittingly finds herself in a sinister vampire world. As a human, she had always been a little rebellious, but as a vampire, she's now fearless and quick to act on her impulses. Racked by being an unstoppable monster, she has a score to settle with people that have wronged her. Deep desires and bloodthirst consume her as she seeks revenge, leading danger to her loved ones, both human and vampire. But in this darkened world, there are rules and those that make sure they're followed. For there are deadly consequences for those that choose not to, such as decapitation. While she struggles to control her bloodlust and fights for something she fears she'll never have, life eternal with the people she loves, she tries to escape a world that may never let her go. Will she follow the rules of the underworld, leaving her human friends behind, or will she choose her friends who might save her from damnation? Regardless, Amara must control what she's become before it ruins everything in her path, and time is not on her side. Number 10. Drift by Jeff Olah. The end of the world only happens once. Sam Rhodes wasn't concerned. No one was. And although it was talked about, whispered conversations about the mysterious illness that had come out of nowhere, there weren't many who remembered the exact moment everything turned red. We ignored what was coming for far too long. It had been building for months, but no one really wanted to admit what was actually happening until we no longer had a choice. Welcome to the November Plague. And there's your top 10. If you're burning with desire to read one or all of these novels, the details are in the description below.